Welcome to Winning Begins at Home. It's halftime week, and I'm fired up that you're with us today. Yesterday, we talked about really the most important part of your halftime adjustments, and that is your family life, your relationships. If winning really does begin at home, then we need to make sure that we start there. But today, we're going to turn to our body. We're going to make sure that we talk about fitness here a little bit as we make some halftime adjustments. I said yesterday, I'm an old coach. I loved it when I coached a sport where they gave us a halftime. It was great to be able to pull back from the fray, so to speak, the battle that was going on, pull the team in, talk to them for a few minutes, do a little. We said yesterday there's 3 A's. We want to do a little assessing, and then we want to make some adjustments, and then we want to go into attack mode in the second half and really try to see how well we can do. Now, let me get you to think about that a little bit as you think physically today. Think about your body, think about your fitness in this conversation today. And I would just ask you to go back over the last 6 months and ask yourself, how are you doing? Now, it's one thing to say, I'm still here, I'm still alive, and so you are doing well. That's great. I'm glad you're here. But do you weigh more than you weighed at the beginning of the year? Were you trying to weigh more than you weighed at the beginning of the year? If so, you're trying to put on muscle. That's great. But maybe you put on a few pounds that you didn't mean to. Or maybe when you think about your strength, can you lift more than you could lift in the beginning of the year? Or have you maybe some of those muscles that you had in January when your resolutions were hot and heavy, maybe some of those have atrophied over the last 3 or 4 months. And I would just encourage you to really begin to think, are you taking care of yourself at a high level? Again, yesterday I used the number 0 to 10 in your relationships. How are you doing when it comes to your fitness on a 0 to 10 scale? And if you're at a 5 right now, that's okay. It's okay to be where you are. It's not okay to stay where you are if you're not where you need to be. And so I want to encourage you today to ask yourself some tough questions and maybe make some adjustments, and let's go into attack mode so that we can move that 5 to a 7, and maybe even after 90 days we could be at a better place, and then as I said yesterday, let's start chasing 10 by the end of the year. And so let's think through some areas of our fitness here. We'll maybe go into more depth on some of this later, but I mean we could pick a few areas pretty easily here. Our exercise would be one of those. How much are you moving? Are you getting the steps in that you need to? Are you getting the workouts in that you need to? Again, is your strength improving, or are you just leaving it to chance? If you don't work your muscles, they're going to atrophy. And honestly, your life is going to be much higher quality if you will exercise and move. You know this. We all know this. You don't need me to tell you this. And yet, how many of us, we've not really paid attention to it over the last 6 months, and now we're struggling. And here we are in the middle of summer, and are we just going to give up the second half of the year? No, we're going to make some adjustments, and we're going to go into attack mode this last 6 months. So movement would be one of those. Your exercise, your cardio. You might ask yourself some questions about that. If you've not been paying any attention to it, I can tell you your VO2 max. If you don't know what that is, you probably need to look it up. It's not going up though if you're not doing any cardio. And but our food would be another one. We could, and I know I'm going to meddling now, but it's so easy. We were on vacation a couple of weeks ago, took the family away, and I can tell you there was just so much food around. We ate great. It was so good. But I can't do that all the time. I've got to make sure that I am focused on what I'm putting into my body. I got a sister who's a trainer, and she says you can't outwork a bad diet. So it's great to have exercise, but if you don't eat what you're supposed to eat, you don't expect to be at your maximum fitness level. And I think we want to be. I really do. Why would we not want to be fit to lead, so to speak? And so let's make sure that we're paying some attention. So again, last 6 months, how are you doing with your nutrition? Are there some adjustments that you need to make? And let's go into attack mode here as we begin today. Really, this is the day. We don't put this off until next week when halftime's over and it's the 1st of July. No, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. Let's make sure that we do the right thing. And I want to say one more little thing about this. This is something I've been saying to myself for a few years here, because years ago I would work hard, or I would go for a run, or maybe I'd complete a marathon or whatever, and those are great accomplishments. Some of them really big, and some of them just a workout. You can find yourself justifying a bad decision after that. Well, I worked out hard, so now I get to have an extra dessert, or I get to have a dessert. And The question I've been asking myself is this good for me or not? If it's not, then why would I ever reward myself with something that's not good for me? And yet, I don't have a perfect diet. I don't have perfect nutrition by any stretch, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a struggle. And if you never think about it, you're just going to go one celebration to the next, day after day after day, and you'll look for reasons to justify what you want to eat rather than what you should eat. And so, I love the old saying, let's make sure that we eat to live, not live to eat. And so I don't know about you, but there's some adjustments I need to make in what I've been putting in my body over the last 6 months. I've thought about that, making some of those adjustments, and I want to make sure that I go into attack mode. If I'm not careful, I'll just know what I should do, but I really won't get serious about it. And I think those decisions we make are so important. So I want to encourage you today when it comes to your nutrition, same thing, your exercise, both those. One other area I want to mention here real quick before we go, though, is our sleep. It's one of the things that I've been really trying to work on the last 6 months. But as I look back over the last 6 months, there's one area when it comes to my sleep that I can make another adjustment. I've been thinking about it, and I need to make this other adjustment. It has to do with what time I go to bed. And so you may need to make a similar adjustment, but you may need to make more adjustments than that. You may need more comfortable bedding. You may need to have a darker room. You may need a sleep tracker. I don't know what you need, but I know for me, if I don't pay attention to it, I won't get enough sleep. I won't take care of myself the way I should. And then I'll wonder why I don't have the energy that I want to have. And really, it's just the habits that I have or don't have that are leading to those outcomes. And the same thing is true for you. Here's the reality. Your life right now physically is perfectly designed, or your habits physically, I'll say it that way, they're perfectly designed to give you your current results. Your weight, your hydration, your sleep, your exercise, your diet, all that stuff, your life is perfectly designed right now to give you those results that you're experiencing. And so if you want something different, we say it all the time, we're going to have to do something different. Better is always going to be different. And so let's make sure that we're making some adjustments this week, middle of the year. And I want to encourage you to really work on this. I think you're going to feel really good about yourself. You're going to feel good. First of all, you're going to be healthier if you'll do this. And let me also say this, if there are areas where you've really been successful in the first half of the year, when it comes to your physical life and your fitness, I would encourage you to run up the score in the second half. Let's just double down on those things and work harder. And maybe that intensity level, I've been working out pretty hard, but I can tell you my intensity level can go up. And so that's one of the things that I'm working on. And it's come from assessing, adjusting, and now I've got to go into attack mode. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. You get to choose what kind of body you want. You really do get to choose that. If you don't get to choose how tall you are, you don't get to choose some things, but there's some things that we get to choose. And so if you want to have energy, you want to be fit, let's make better decisions in the second half of this year. It's halftime. Let's make some adjustments. Let's go into attack mode. Let's see what happens. I think you can make some progress. All right. Love you guys. Got another area for you. If you'll come back tomorrow, we're going to talk about another area we can make some halftime adjustments and make sure the second half of the year is better than the first. All right. Love you guys. See you tomorrow for more Winning Begins at Home.